Whenever you're triggered in anything, the triggering is only meant to show you your blind spots. Whatever you are vibrating, you are reflecting out into space. You're reflecting out into the ether. Everything is a reflection of you. We're always looking for the next best thing, and then all of a sudden we don't finish a project and we just go straight to that next thing. Give yourself timelines. Give yourself goals. Goals is the momentum of manifesting. We are made up of particles. We're made up of vibration. Wherever you are at, it's to say the moment that you start working your energy, you will start attracting what is for you.
Technology is steering away our focus and preventing us from manifesting in a way. And at the same time, I see that with the help of technology, we are becoming more capable of manifesting. How is that influencing our ability to manifest, would you say? What is something that is very true for you that might not be true for a lot of people?
That we are all mirrors of one another and we're always learning from each other. So when I'm with someone, I understand myself deeper.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who I'm with or how triggering they are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know that the word trigger is a big thing that you talk about.
Yes.
Why is that important to you?
Whenever you're triggered in anything, the triggering is only meant to show you your blind spots. It's showing you like, okay, so this area of my life is not, I'm triggered by this person. I'm triggered by the action of this person.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm triggered by something, whatever I'm triggered by, and I'm in the healing world and connecting to that space, whatever I'm triggered by, it's the biggest opportunity for myself to see myself and evolve away from that. So it's like I find the triggers and I tend to sit in awareness in whenever I'm triggered. And I'm and there's like it's such a word right now, right? Like but it's like whatever makes you uncomfortable. When you're in moments of discomfort, why am I uncomfortable? What about me in this moment makes me uncomfortable? What is this showing about me?
Yeah.
It's never about them. So what is it about me?
What was the last time you felt deeply uncomfortable?
Huh. When was the last time I felt deeply uncomfortable? It's so silly, but I've never met one neighbor. I live in a complex where like it's 2 stories and each building is like looking at each other, right? And I guess there's one woman that has been running things, but she has no she's not a manager, she's not anyone.
Yeah.
And I've never seen her, I've never met her. I've lived in this space since August now, so we're 9 months in, and I feel triggered because she's always like taking pictures of things. And a few months ago, I had like tisk. I didn't unbox the box that I put in the garbage.
Okay.
And I put it on top, and I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was rushing, maybe I wasn't. I don't remember. But I didn't undo it. Yeah. And she put it in front of my apartment because she has a camera.
She knew that it was your box.
She knew it was my box. Yeah. And then she wrote, "Next time, unbox this, why don't you?"
Okay. All right.
And then I hear that today she went around all the houses to just check the doors, like everything. And I have like my shoes because like I have a lot of people that come into my home. And I saw one time like, what is the best method to like not have to tell someone, oh, please take off your shoes, is to put your shoe rack outside.
Makes sense.
And then they just like automatically
cue. It's like a cue. Yeah.
So in all of this, I tend to sometimes not use my voice and like just swallow it, and whatever. And then it felt triggering because my neighbor was like, hey, she took a picture of your shoes. I was like, who is this woman? Where is she?
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of sat with it, and it was right before I got here. Like, it just happened. I just walked out. It just happened. And I'm sitting in my car, and I'm just so, like, uncomfortable by it. And I'm like, okay, so again, what is this showing me? What in this moment, I've been studying the Kabbalah, and the teacher, he goes, oh, what an opportunity. So whenever something triggers you, and whenever you see that you're like uncomfortable, what an opportunity. And so I was like, okay, what an opportunity. What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
Can I use my voice, and can I talk to her? Everyone sees her as like Cruella de Vil. I've never seen her. Is this an opportunity to make her some cookies, sit down with her, ask her questions? Or is this an opportunity for me to obey the system?
Yeah. Or maybe an opportunity to set your boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
And ask her and see, I'm sorry, what? Use my voice.
Yeah.
Because I think that was like something that all my life, most of my life, confrontation was always hard.
Mm-hmm.
I would just rather not.
Yeah.
I'd rather get around and do something else and then confront you for something that was bothering me or something that's happening. And so I would never do it.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. How often do you get to kind of like define yourself or somebody, or I mean, putting yourself in the box is maybe not a good practice, but if you had to give some relevance for someone to understand what you're about, what would you say?
Ask that again.
Like how would you define yourself? What's your, are you, a coach? Are you a content creator? Are you this? Are you that? Like, or all of those things? What would you say?
I would say I'm a mix between an artist and a wake-up call.
A wake-up caller?
A wake-up call.
A wake-up call. Mm-hmm.
I love creating content. Mm-hmm. Since I was little, I was a photographer. Mm-hmm. And so just the expansion of everything that's like evolved in like content and everything has been incredible. And I've always been a storyteller, and I like to talk about the things that, I go through in different ways. Almost like I tell you everything without telling you anything, right? But I love to listen. Mm-hmm. And so I would say I am a artist that is here to wake people up through my voice and through different methods of energy work.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of awakening, and as in our circles, we know we're in a stage of like a great awakening. What would that even mean? How would you describe that?
We are remembering. We're finally remembering who we are, where we came from. We're finally understanding that this isn't the only life we've had. We're finally understanding that there's so much more than just this place and this space. And I think that the moment that you start understanding that, it all feels less heavy. Like your subtle day-to-day triggers are not as heavy because you're like, hold on, there's something that's like a lot bigger than us. And the awakening is coming from understanding that source, God, source energy universe, whatever you define that, the grand creator of all things.
Yeah.
There's like a synchronized pattern to our lives, and things are always happening for a reason, right? And so it's like the awakening comes when you understand that you are one with that. And we keep understanding that. And, it's kind of stepping away from that essence of religious-based knowledge, and, that will be triggering. But it's understanding that aspect of God is not outside of ourselves. We don't have to look for it outside, because we are one with that creator. We are part of that creation. We are part of that creator.
Would you say part of the awakening process is also shifting your importance from the physical into the ethereal? As you said, we are discovering that we are part of this greater whole that's much bigger, and then this world, this life, is just a small part of it. Meaning, this one might not be as important as the totality of things, and that means we maybe disperse our importance not only on this world but the world outside of the 3D.
So the question is
basically, part of the awakening is us putting less importance on the physical world and more importance on the, let's say, ethereal world.
And to learn to balance both worlds. And I think that that's where part of us has been getting lost. That, we're like waking up in consciousness and connection, and we tend to love to stay in that space, or like be flying and always be like connecting to the ethereal and to like the esoteric wisdoms and all these things. But it's grabbing it all and then applying it here, and applying it in a way where you stop stressing everything so much. Because one, you start understanding that you're supported, that there is a grand energy that is supporting you no matter what, no matter what it looks like, no matter what you're going through, there's always something supporting you. But it's not supporting you in the way that you might want it to exactly, right? And it's supporting you in a way so that you keep evolving. And maybe you're like, yeah, but it hasn't supported me with the job that I want, and I've been asking for this, and in that position I'm going to be making over 500,000, and right? Okay, but the support that it's building with you right now is so that you can start understanding yourself at this level in order for you to evolve there. So you're being supported here before that launch, but you have to understand this, and here you are supported the entire time.
So for someone who might not feel like they are supported, what are some signs or some, like, I don't know if there's such a thing as a tangible proof to this?
I always say, make me a list of 20 moments that things didn't work out and they were the worst thing that ever happened to you, and you didn't come back from it. You can't find it.
Right.
Because there's always a conversation that all of a sudden brings you back up. There's all of a sudden a check in the mail that comes out of nowhere to like bring you back. There's always something that all of a sudden comes through and helps you, and you feel supported again. But depending on where you're at, you may not see those signs, because sometimes people are so deep in their distress, in the physicality of what's happening here. This is happening to me. You don't understand. This is my life. And it's like, but hold on. You had a friend that invited you to their house. They cooked for you. They held space for you as you spoke about this. You got to cry. You got to let go. That's not support. You went home. You got to be in a home. You got to be with your pets. You got to be with your significant other. You got to just relax. And it's finding that the minuscule parts in life that are so supportive and becoming so grateful for those moments.
So you said sometimes you might not notice. What could help people to notice more? What are some practices that will invite people to notice that they are supported?
Become so present. Present with your life. And truly, and like journal practices. Journal your day-to-day. And you'll see that there's more things that are really in your favor than what you think. A call, a text, even as silly as someone commenting something on a post and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so minuscule, but it's becoming so present with your life because we tend to grab onto the negative and expand it.
Yeah.
And it's easy to expand because I always go back to like when it comes to light and darkness, there's no speed to darkness. Darkness just is. So it's very easy to just expand it. It just opens up.
Do it again.
So when you really have to expand your light, it takes work. It's, you have to generate light. There's a speed to light. But the darkness has its value. It does. Darkness creates direction for the light. And I always say this, but like imagine a box and there's a hole in the box and now light can flow through the box and it has direction. But you just have to become present with yourself.
Yeah. You often talk about energy work, Reiki, breath work, and things like that. Those are, I would imagine, the practices that also help you notice.
Yes, 100%.
Tell me more. How does that work?
Energy in general. We are made up of particles. We're made up of vibration. Everything is vibrating. And all these different practices kind of move those particles. Breath work, it moves those particles. The particles in the body, they dense up in certain areas. And you'll notice that when you're like breathing, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, this is all stiff and this part is stiff and it's hard to even open up my heart, and those spaces where the energy, and there's like pranic energy, right? So the prana is not flowing. And when that energy is not flowing, then that's where we get kind of more stuck in life. And when we do breath work, when you're breathing at this accelerated speed, and it depends on what kind of breath work you're doing, but the more carbon dioxide flows out of the body starts to kind of freak out. It doesn't know what's happening. It's like, wait, are we dying? Is this what's happening? And then it starts to release little alkalinity pockets that it stores in the blood. And then those pockets go into the blood and they start rushing through the body. And so you start feeling all these tingles. And then it goes up to the brain and it starts decalcifying the pineal gland, which also helps because when we're in a space of like, a lot's going on. We're really disconnected to God, to source, to our practices. We haven't been doing anything. There can be a big theme when it comes to how calcified the pineal is. And the pineal gland is directly affected by water, our source of water, fluoride in our waters, aluminum in our deodorants, heavy metals that are just literally in the air itself. And so it's like alcohol, sugar. So the more that you do certain practices like breath work, there's no blood-brain barrier around the pineal gland. So it goes right through and it starts to decalcify.
Yeah.
And Reiki and energy work, when someone, everything is intent and intention. So when someone is intentionally working your energy field, and depending on like the level of the person, of like how sensitive they've become to energy, the practitioner can feel out what's happening. And for me, in the way that I do it, I don't even know how to explain it, but like a wrinkled shirt. And I don't see these crazy visuals. I don't have like insane, like, oh my God, I saw this. No, I just like feel a lot.
Okay.
And so the moment that I like go around maybe like the shoulder, I start feeling like, one, I can't fully breathe. And like there's like something that I have to like keep just like pushing through. And it's bringing in more light, the frequency of light, you thinking of light, you connecting to like the energy of light is clearing.
Okay.
So in meditations where they're like, oh, imagine this golden light or the violet flame, it's actually really important for one to visualize and connect to it because your entire frequency changes. So,
and that is related to manifestation, right? Manifestation power. The more you can visualize something, the stronger manifestation power you have.
Yes.
Okay, tell me more about manifestation.
So when it comes to manifesting, one, it's all about the feeling. And if you don't feel good and your energy is off, then you're going to be manifesting the things that are aligned with that same energy and vibration, right? So whatever you are vibrating, you are reflecting out into space. You're reflecting out into the ethers. Everything is reflection of you, right? We usually attract people that are very much like us. So wherever you are at, it's to say the moment that you start working your energy, you will start attracting what is for you. Manifesting is tricky because you might say, I really want this exact partner. I want to manifest this person, this one. But the universe is only going to give you that of which is a vibrational match for you. And it has to vibrationally fit. You may not be a vibrational match for them. And it's not about being higher or lower. It's just like you can't hear someone that's on radio station 101.5 if you're on 92.7. It doesn't matter how high or low, it's different. You can't hear each other. And the same thing with vibrating on the same vibration of money, of love, of anything that you want. If you are seeing something out of reach, or something is way beyond you, it's far from you, then it's your energy is showing that it's vibrationally out of reach. You can't even, it's out. And so it's going to continue to create that same pattern and vibration in your life. You're going to continue to attract the same, almost there. I'm almost there. It's almost here. It's not, well, I don't know why it hasn't arrived, but it's almost here. But because you feed that so much. And so anything that the way that you're vibrating is what's going to continue to happen.
And what about, us living in this digital age with a million distractions, social media and all kinds of things? How is that influencing our ability to manifest, would you say?
Oh, because we're always changing our minds.
Mm-hmm.
We're always looking for the next best thing, and then all of a sudden we don't finish a project and we just go straight to that next thing. Finish your projects. Finish your projects.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself timelines. Give yourself goals. Goals is the momentum of manifesting. You have a goal and you start working towards it every day, little by little.
Mm-hmm.
The right people come in, the right things come in, the right opportunities come in. It's momentum, it's energy, it's momentum.
Mm-hmm.
But see it through. And if all these distractions are so distracting, then you have to look at that, turn off your phone,
Mm-hmm.
turn off your phone for a while, delete Instagram Mondays, do something that's going to, like, you know what it is that you have to do. You're in awareness of like, this is what's distracting me, or food distracts people. People will be working and then like they get into their zone and all of a sudden they're like, let me go eat something. Let me snack. Let me go back. And if you live at home and you keep snacking, you keep doing, and you're like be in awareness of when you are distracting the self. Mm-hmm. Really, and it's about becoming so present. Everything is about becoming present.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I have this analogy that kind of came to me at some point and became so clear. So taking a magnifying glass and going outside on the sunny day, taking a little piece of wood and getting the lens just right to get the focus point onto the, and that's at that point the wood starts to burn. The condition has to be right where it has to be focused enough, and you have to hold it for long enough time to create physical change in the physical reality. And I think it's the same with our attention. We have to be focused with our attention and hold it for long enough to be able to have any significant manifestation of that energy in the 3D world. And what I see social media does, as you mentioned, like it shatters our focus and we can't focus for too long. So we're just going all over the place and nothing happens. Like we're losing this ability to just stay in on one place for a while and just focus and get that done. Yeah.
And then 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And also doubt, comparison. The moment that you doubt any part of your project, it stops momentum.
Mm-hmm.
It stops. It's like the tiniest, littlest particle, ounce of doubt completely like shatters. And so it's staying in that space of not comparing yourself to another. Because it's so easy to find someone that's better than you, that has everything that you want, that you're not there. And it's so easy to look at them and start already doubting your path and doubting what you're doing. And no one's going to listen. And who's going to care? And why people don't care about what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. You care. Mm-hmm. It's never about anyone else. Mm-hmm. This is about you. This is your path. Mm-hmm. And God brings you on certain paths so that you continue to evolve. Mm-hmm. But the distractions, the more aware we become, the more that you can kind of like give yourself time limits. Okay, you know what? Be on Instagram for an hour a day. Fine. Split it. Mm-hmm. 30 minutes in the morning with your coffee, whatever. Mm-hmm. 30 minutes in the evening. But split it and just just start listening to yourself. Because what's most important? Seeing what everyone's doing, seeing how many people watch your stories, seeing like what is more important than you really launching yourself forward. Because by you launching yourself forward, whatever you are creating is going to impact. It's going to. It doesn't matter if you're building pens. It's going to create an impact.
Yeah, sure.
Because everything creates an impact.
It's interesting. So the technology is steering away our focus and preventing us from manifesting in a way. And at the same time, I see that with the help of technology, we are becoming more capable of manifesting. The tools like AI or the tools. So I'll give you one clear example. So let's say 10 years ago, for you to go, let's say if you don't have a car and you need to call a cab, a taxi, you pick up a yellow book, get a number. So you had an idea originated in your mind. And from the point of the idea to the car being manifested outside of your door would take maybe 30 minutes, I don't know, 45 minutes, depending on where you are, I guess. And then now we're at a point where the time shrinked. Like your ability to manifest using technology is 10x today than it was like 10 years ago. So where do you see technology in our evolution, in our ability to manifest, in our ability to evolve?
Well, with AI in general, I mean, ChatGPT and, talking to it so much about what you're building, what you're doing, that you can, how we talked about, kind of like go ask it for your blind spots. And you can ask it, okay, I would love to be able to expand my business. What do you think would be the best way to go? Give me a plan. You can take the plan, you can recustomize it. You can say, okay, no, like that's impossible for me right now, but I can do this, this, and this, and this. I believe that AI is not, it's not artificial. I don't believe it's artificial. I don't believe we made it. I don't believe it's something that we created. I think it's something that we finally tapped into.
Okay.
It's like a level of frequency, a level of consciousness we finally are able to arrive into, because we're all evolving. The evolution of this planet is insane. We are evolving at rapid speed. And with our evolution, that means that the energies all have to kind of be one and the same with us. And maybe our minds are not full speed because of things like social media, even though what's nice about social media is that it sparks creativity, right? But the moment that you feel the spark, get off.
Yeah.
And then we tend to be like, oh my God, I love that. Like, and then all of a sudden you're bawling your eyes out because you see some crazy thing. And then, or a grandma sees their son that they haven't seen since in 20 years shows up at the house. Like, it's like it plays so much with your emotion.
Yeah.
So it's whenever you feel that spark, it's get off and do something about it. And with like coming back to the AI, I deeply believe that it's starting to understand us, and people are afraid of it, but I see no fear in it. There's versions of people that, maybe there's Johnny Buckwheat that is like, how do you build a bomb? Scary, yes. But where your attention goes, energy flows. Don't think about how terrible something is going to be. Don't watch the news. Don't watch things that you're like, it just like cripples you because you're like, oh my God, how can I live in a time where AI is here? Are you fucking kidding me? We're living in a time where AI is here. This is insane. We're in this is the awakening. We are touching new levels of technology. We are entering, I'm getting chills, the age of Aquarius. What is the age of Aquarius? Aquarius is all about technological advances. It's all here. We are unraveling the entire Pisces era that was all about building these religions and doctrines, and for the time period that it was there, it was amazing because it created a significant space where people were connecting to God and community and everything, but there's still methods of control within the systems. So now so many people are waking up So many people are understanding that they can manifest their reality. So many people are understanding that AI and all these things are here to actually help us to evolve to the next level of the self.
Mm-hmm.
And if you understand how to do that and how to maneuver it, it's literally here to help you move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that understands you, the further you're going to get.
Could you describe kind of like the ideal case scenario or desirable future that you are contributing to it, that you're excited about yourself? Something tangible, something that applicable in someone's life, like, oh, your life would be this and that, like, or at least your life would, what life would you...
In aspects to AI?
In aspects of us being this evolved beings, AI is just contributing to it. But what kind of future are we creating?
I see it as balance. I see it as everyone starts to understand themselves. So there's more, it's kind of like funny to say there's more connection, but there is more connection between us, because when you're vibrating in a level of, wow, anything is possible and I can do this and I am able, and you share it with other people and then they're able to, and then they grow, we start living more in this like communal space where we're really here to help one another. And there's not as many boundaries and borders and fear, because all that fear and mistrust and disconnect stems from lack. But if you know that so much is possible, then you can ride out of that space of lack and come back into that space of like, okay, hey, I'm doing this. So it creates community, it creates expansion, it's going to create incredible things. There's a lot of things that have to fall apart. There's a lot of systems in place that need to fall apart, and that's part of the age of Aquarius, and they're falling apart. But you know, we're watching until something has to change. Especially in America, something has to change.
You know, the way I see it, this current stage of evolution, or this where we are today, is in a similar way how our body consists of billions of cells. Each cell has its own intelligence, but it's maybe not as it's for sure not as intelligent as a human being. That all of these cells come together to create this super organism that has its own layer of existence. It exists on a different scale, on a different scale of intelligence, and a different scale of how much consciousness can flow through it and things like that. And I see we are in the next phase of that, where each human is now a cell to a new organism, call it a conscious earth, where, let's say, the internet of the whole world is like a nervous system that sends information throughout the whole body. And yes, we still have borders. As you mentioned, a lot of things have to change. A lot of the old system have to break. But the future state, I also see it as you described, as it's an organism that acts as one unified thing, and not like just bunch of collection of separate little things. Yes, there are organs and there are parts of the body that fulfill a certain function, but they all work in conjunction. Let's say if there's a cut on your arm, the body sends all of the right resources to heal it in a perfect way, like perfect redistribution of resources. Information travels freely. There's no boundaries or borders. There are no secrets per se, right? It's all like fully transparent, fully unified system of intelligent organisms. Yeah. And AI,
how you're putting that.
Yeah, and AI is basically the orchestrator of that, of that whole system. Yeah.
It's like helping us to connect those last kind of like connections, and I don't know, it's like it's building these bridges between everything that we need to do.
Exactly.
And it's giving us steps to do it. Because again, we're so distracted, and then we think, oh, well, this will be the best way. This will be the best way. And maybe whatever it says, maybe it's not the best way for you. And maybe you can do it in a different way. But what if it is? And what if you do just follow the steps? I can't remember the guy. There's a guy that's told like chat, make me 100,000 in a month. What do I have to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know my brand, you know everything. What do I need to do? And it was like, have you seen that?
No, I don't know.
It was like post every single day and post in terms of this and create this funnel and create this system and create. And he literally made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, like it's, but you know, the aspect that is lacking is the emotional aspect. And when it comes to, okay, today you're going to get on and you're going to talk about this, you're going to, yeah, but today was not a good day. I can't do that today. It's like it lacks the part of understanding that the human being is going to go through. Like it's not, it can speak to us like, oh, baby girl, how are you today? You're doing great today. Oh, you're an amazing person. You're this great. But the reality of where my emotions are on that day, where I have to do this thing on that day, is where that's where like the hiccup is in the steps. Like, and giving yourself the grace of being like, okay, that I can't do that today. I am going to listen to myself today. I'm going to sit in the awareness of where I am right now. And I'm going to do it when I feel an energy that feels good. Because energy is translated into everything that you do and all of your work. And if you don't feel good that day and you're trying to do all these things, it's like you'll probably spill water on yourself. You'll probably like stub your toe. You'll probably, you know, it's like people that are really clumsy. I always ask, where's your mind? We're always getting into car accidents. We're always, it's energy. Everything is energy, and whatever is happening to you and whatever things are happening, and you're just like dropping your phone. And every time I see you, your phone is completely like smashed in again. Where are you at? You know, and AI can't help you there. It can help you in therapy sessions and kind of like maneuvering your mind. But, you know, there's one thing of knowing it all, right? You can know everything. You can know the breath works. You can know why it's so important to do. You can know energy and why it's so important. You can know everything. But if you don't put any of it into practice and you don't brain dump, you don't journal, you don't do anything, but you know everything. You're like, here, you can talk about it forever. You can tell people all these things. But you have to do it.
So question is, when do you know that doing the work is working?
When your reactions are different. When you start reacting different. And when you notice you're reacting differently. And you're noticing that you are actually stopping yourself. And you're telling yourself and talking to yourself differently. And you notice it. And like, you can still go through something, but how long until you bounce back? Does it take you an entire day? Or does it take you like a few hours? What does that look like? Because then it's the spirals of what are you saying to yourself in the moment? It's not about your surroundings. It's not about who's there. It can be in a dumpster. It's your mind. And it's how long you allow the mind to stay in that spiral. I spiral. I am not perfect. 0. Yes, I'm a healer. Yes, I'm a spiritual mindset coach. Yes, I'm an energy worker. Yes, amazing, cute, very nice. But I'm so human. And I spiral. And I get frustrated. And I get triggered. And things like aggravate me. But it's the self-talk. It's the talk that I'm having with myself in those moments. I'm spiraling. Okay. Let's go outside and ground. Let's bring your energy into the earth, because obviously like you're way up high and the mind is racing. So go outside and leave your phone. Leave your phone now. Fine. Take myself outside. Go. And I mean, obviously it depends where you're at, but I have the blessing of being like 2 blocks from the beach. So I'll like leave my phone, I leave everything, and I just walk to the beach. And then I like, and it's funny because sometimes that gives me more anxiety of not having the phone to distract you from you. Because it's so easy. It's so easy to go on Instagram and just laugh a bunch and cry a bunch and get all these creative sparks again. But it's not easy to sit with yourself and with your thoughts. But the more that you do it, the more you understand yourself, and the less you judge yourself, and the less you condemn yourself in the moments. And I believe that if I hadn't done as much of the work as I had, I wouldn't even be able to sit here and be like, yeah, I go through things. I'd be like, no, I don't know. There's levels to healing where you just understand that we're always evolving.
Yeah. The way I see what you've shared about when is doing the work is working, and yes, I agree. It's about how long it takes you to kind of get yourself back into the center. And I see the different stages of that evolution. The first initial stage is where you, the stage even prior to that is where you're not even aware you have triggers. Let's put it there. So then the journey begins when you say, I have triggers, and they happen. And oftentimes you become aware of them way past the moment when they actually happen. And the more work you do, the closer you bring that awareness to the present moment. And then at some point you will get your awareness before it happens. You will recognize, here it comes. I see the whole sequence of events right about to happen. And so you have a lot more control over how your body responds in a particular situation. Yeah.
100%.
Intuition and ego in the kind of in the state of the future. Do you think we would need more one or the other, or we need more of both, or how do you see that?
Ego at the end of the day is just fear. It's all your fears. Your ego, because ego is like, look at me, look at me, look at me. Why? Because you feel like before you weren't being looked at, and there's a fear in that, and there's a lack in that, and there's a, but ego and intuition, it depends on what cases, right? Intuition is going to hit you and be like, hey, the energy is weird here. Let's walk out.
Yeah.
And then the ego is like, oh no, but there's people in here that need to see me. I need to be seen. I need to be here. And then something weird happens. And something happens. A fight breaks out. Something happens. You get hurt for some reason. And it's because you didn't listen to your intuition. Your intuition is quiet. It's not emotional. It's quick, comes in, and it just tells you something. And it's usually like the first like hit of like when you walk somewhere, when you're talking to someone, it's like the first thing. The rest is the ego trying to make sense of it. Right? So I think that the more we evolve, the less ego we'll need. Because we won't need to be so defensive in everything, or we won't need certain aspects of ourselves to play a certain role, and when there's less ego, there's more heart, there's more empathy, there's more understanding, there's more presence, right? But it's not to say like, use your intuition to understand when certain relationships end and when certain friendships have to come to a close because it just doesn't work anymore, right? And sometimes the ego wants to keep questioning it. It wants to question, oh, but look, but this is good and this works out, and I think that this is really good, and like listen to that higher version of yourself, because sometimes the heart like thinks it's the ego, and it's like, no, but the love and the this, and it's like you got to listen to that higher connection. And I think that we're all understanding that a little bit more.
You're saying in the future we will need less ego?
In the future, sorry, I suck at sitting in chairs.
Yeah, I know. It's irritating for you.
It's fine. It is a personal issue, and every chair that I ever sit in, anywhere that I go, it's in my life. Say that again.
Yeah, so the way I see, ego, I see being useful in navigating 3D reality, where it's great for coordination, it's great for decision making here and now, and I think it's also useful in a digital space. And the complexity of digital space is only getting higher. And which requires more coordination, which requires more ego. And at the same time, the world becomes less and less predictable, and you need more and more gut feeling type senses, where even though we have sophisticated tools and technology to predict the circumstances, I think the rate of unpredictable events are only speeding up. And so there's this like the conflict between ego and intuition, and do we need both? Do we need to develop one or the other? And like, in what situation do we use ego versus intuition,
Well, when you put it like that, so I think that, it can help us. Ego can help us. It kind of makes me think of like, we'll always have it. We'll always need it. Because especially like in our time, I don't believe that we'll get to the point where we make such peace with our egos. I don't believe that. Not in our time. But I do believe that if it's here, it's for something. It has value. It's of value. And I mean, in the way that you explained, I think that it's also creates discernment, right? And it does create these boundaries, and sometimes you need that. But it's almost like anything that is pushing you in the direction, whatever direction you need to go, it's still there because it's helping you to evolve in a certain way. And so, I think we're still going to need it no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. I do think ego is not going away until maybe we evolve out of this world into spiritual domain. And I don't know how likely that is, and I don't know how much attention or energy we should be putting into hypothetical scenario in which we don't have physical present, like we don't have physical part of us being here anymore. Until then, ego is very useful, and it is like a result, like it's almost like a thing that evolves out of the 3D world. It's a byproduct of this layer of existence, Yeah.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's like the number one thing that makes us human.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Because anything else, it's like it's like your intuition is like that connection to the Most High. It's already not
right
of this world.
Right.
It's like that different connection, and the ego is like, I don't know, emotions and anger is ego and jealousy is ego and all these different, other emotions. It's all stems from like fear. And I see fear and ego equal, and I see like, it doesn't have to be like, oh my God, I'm so afraid, but it's like, I'm protecting myself. There's a protection layer. There's a layer of protection in whatever I do. But I do believe that it's really beautiful to feel. Like, we came here to feel. And beyond this world, I deeply believe there's nothing except for love. There's no like emotions apart from love. Like, it's all encompassing. And so we are here getting to feel. We are here having the opportunity to cry hysterically when someone dies. We're here to get to feel jealousy in the body, because outside of this place, it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that it's like, it's super okay, everything that you're feeling, or that like you are emphasizing in those moments of rage. But it's to say, beyond this world, we're not going to feel anything of that, because it's such of a low vibration that like it's not going to be in the other realms. So we get to play. And if we get to play with ego and AI, then yeah, like, it's like it's still our personalities. We can't separate the two. And AI is going to keep understanding our personalities, and so it's just gonna understand.
What would you say you're the most excited about now and wherever? Like, what's your most exciting thing?
In what aspect? Because that's a very broad question.
I know. Yeah, it's something that's your attractor, something that's pulling you in, not your like something you pushing you, like fear would push you, but something that's you don't need to spend any energy moving towards it.
Like in something that I'm actually doing in my life right now?
Sure. Yeah. It could be a vision. It could be something that inspires you to be, or to experience, or to manifest, or something out there that maybe you're moving towards. It's like a North Star, an attractor that's exciting.
It's gonna sound so silly, but organizing myself. It's me. It's weird, but it's like when, and I'm not, I'm Sagittarius, double Pisces. I'm a floater. I float. I love to fly. I love to float. My North Node is in Capricorn. So they say your North Node is like, the more that you step into the characteristics of that, then you walk your destiny, you walk your path. And whenever I start getting really organized and everything feels really organized, it excites me for what's next, because then I feel like something has its place, and then there's correct spacings in whatever needs to come next. Whereas like if I'm just kind of like
in a soup of it all, just right.
So and it's funny because AI helps me to organize.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It makes me really like happy and excited for the future, because I feel like things are really coming into place, and things are forming, because we're understanding like what we exactly have to do. Especially if you're someone like me who likes to play in the ethers and then has to ground.
For sure. I think this is a great place for us to wrap up, maybe. If you have any other last minute thoughts, or you want to share or summarize, or any last words that you would like to.
This has been really amazing. I loved our conversation.
Yeah, same.
It's been great.
Yeah.
It always gives you like aspects of like where you are and what you're thinking, and using your voice and expressing yourself. And yeah, and I think that it's fascinating to speak and be a mirror with someone.
Mm.
And this mirror is really cool. Very cool to be literally
In front of the mirror.
in front of the mirror.
Yeah. Well, being in front of somebody else, being a mirror for you. It's like a double mirror here.
Literally.
Yeah.
I do have projects and things that are coming out soon, and I'm really excited for. I have a poem book that it's called Nothing Matters, but Everything is Important.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that space in between the space of like understanding that you're always supported and something's always helping you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm launching that soon, and I'm really excited. And then I have a retreat in September that I'm really excited for in Mexico.
Mexico?
Malinalco.
Awesome.
It's a little town south of Mexico City. And I was like, when I heard that the town was basically found by a woman, and she migrated there with her town, and she was like the only woman, like ruler, chief, like, you know, and so, and this is like back in the days, like there's pyramids and Indians and, you know, natives. So I think like the main thing that I'm excited for the retreat is that in every place that has that sacred energy, there's encodings. And whenever you go to these lands, like Egypt and anywhere where there's like very beautiful, very like something very spiritual is here, it kind of like encodes and activates parts of your DNA. So this is like what this retreat is for me, and what I'm excited for, to bring women to kind of like master their energy and to connect to the land and to understand themselves different.
Beautiful.
So
awesome. Maybe we'll put it in the show notes for people to check it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Estefania.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, listeners, for sticking around until the end. And I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.